Guys all doing? This is Let's Talk Real Estate. I wish I could do it every Friday night, but it is too hard to get on here and try to be consistent, but I'm going to try. And I'm going to try to finish up those principal courses. So if any of you are thinking about becoming a real estate agent or a loan officer, or you're thinking about buying something, or you're thinking about selling something like a house, or you inherited property. Oh, I have so much. I was thinking about what am I going to talk about when I say let's talk real estate. But I was thinking I have the perfect thing. Hi there, how you doing? It says they're coming. You're coming over from Instagram. I love it. Do you like my? I'm going to call this my Valentine's Day cup because it's Valentine's Day color, even though it's Christmas cup, right? Anyway, you know what I was thinking about talking about today? There's a lot of stuff about real estate that I want to talk about. I was in a class today, and the class was about the new RPA. That's the Real Property Purchase Agreement. And, it was interesting because the class was announced as a buyer's agreement, a buyer's agreement class, and that's the BRBC. And so they talked about, well, instead of doing the BRBC class, which we were all there for, they decided to do a step-by-step class. And my business partner should be on here, Arlene, and it says license next week. Woo! Did you pass already? Did you pass your exam yet? My hair is doing all kinds of stuff today. So you know what I did? I was taking all kinds of hair growth vitamins, and I was taking and I was using really great hair shampoo, and I always wore my hair up or back, and now it's just like really thick and really long. It's kind of cool. Anyway, I know I'm saying stuff that's not real estate, but what I wanted to say, there's so much going on in real estate right now, and it's interesting because there's not as many people taking the real estate exam as there used to be. So you guys, this is such an opportunity right now because less people are taking the exam and more people are falling out of the business. And they're falling out of the business because they don't understand the new forms, and they're really not that hard. You know why? On the buyer's agreement, literally, I just filled out one last week for a buyer, and it goes all through how the buyers are going to have to pay you. And, if they can't afford to pay you, what are you going to do? Aw, thank you. I'm so glad you passed. You had the license 2 years ago. Oh, you're doing your brokers. Are you going to take our brokers class? Because our brokers class is really, really good. Now, when you take our brokers class, it says, I'm a new agent and I felt lost. I'm so sorry. Don't feel lost. If you feel lost, pick up the phone and call me, right? And it's interesting because some people feel lost and they don't do anything about it. I want to take it. The class starts tomorrow. So our class is tomorrow from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., all day Saturday, and then on Sunday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., depending on how many people ask us questions. So when lots of people ask us questions, one time my brokers is not helpful at all. Where are you located that you have such a bad broker? And you know what you need to do is shop for a new broker. And our class, we have a class called I Got My License. What do I do? And on my Got My License, what I do, it tells you how to shop for a broker. But one of the things that also talks about how to find the broker in the right area, but you also have to interview them. So when you interview a broker, you're interviewing them, not them interviewing you, because you want to know, how did they help you? When they have a new agent, how do they help you? How do they help you get business? What do they do to teach you the forms? Are there classes at the local association of realtors? Are there classes online anywhere that you can learn? And guess what? There are. So if you joined a broker, you probably also joined your local association of realtors. If you did that, you can go to car.org. I switched to referral mode. Oh, that's you, Rebecca. Oh, so you're on the local association as referral mode. That's because you don't have to pay your local association dues. I don't know where you're located because next week in Indian Wells, which is just a little further than Palm Springs, so it's a little more east than Palm Springs, is the California Association Conferences. And so that's where I'm going to be, in Indian Wells. And on Wednesday, I have like 4 meetings I have to go to. One is local government. One is federal tax information. I'm trying to think of the other committees I'm on, but all my committee meetings are on Wednesday, and I'm on nominating. So I get to see all the things that are going on, but all my meetings are on one day. So that means that Tuesday, I only have one meeting, but I can go to things around it. And then on Thursday and Friday, there's some other meetings, but they're not mandatory for me. So there's over 2,500 of us going. There's usually about, I want to say we have about 860 directors, and the directors are the ones that vote on everything. So it's really interesting because when you learn the politics of how an association works at the local level, and then you see how it works at the next level, the state level, and then you see how it works on the national level, it blows your mind how many people are working behind the scenes, because what they're doing there, they're also doing in your city and in your county and in your state, in the government. Because you know what? People think their city is run by themselves. They absolutely don't. And every 20 years, every city in California has to redo their plan. Hi, Rebecca. It says, where am I located? I'm located in Los Angeles County, about 10 minutes outside of Orange County. I'm about 30 miles away from Disneyland. And wherever I am, I do coach everywhere, because I can teach anybody how to do real estate anywhere. So Rebecca, I'm going to tell you, I know you were on the other thing. It says somebody's talking to me about what was on my Instagram. So I have no idea how they're talking to me from there over here, but that's kind of weird. Anyway, I'm not the most talented technical person, but I sure know how to do real estate. So I will tell you that I can coach you, I can teach you on how to do that. Oh, okay, take one of Sharon's classes. You guys got to take my classes. Maybe, I always want to do, maybe I can do a combination of I got my license, what do I do, and steps to success. Here's the thing though, steps to success, when we did it, was about 3 hours. And I got my license, what do I do, is about 3 hours. So maybe what we'll do is we'll do a combination. How about that? Oh, they all just came over for Instagram. That's why it's doing that. Gotcha. Maybe what we'll do is pull out the most important things. She helped me get my license. Oh, I love that. So what we'll do is we'll pull out the most important things out of I got my license, what do I do? And we'll pull out the most important things from steps to success. And what we'll do is, I know Arlene's on here, we'll do that monkey thing where it goes to all of our people, and we'll advertise it all over the place, and we'll do it for like 35 bucks. And both classes are 85 bucks. So I think everybody can afford 35 bucks. Arlene hates when I do that, but hey, we're always saying, she hates when I do that because she has to change things around on our website so that you guys can order it. So we'll have to look at the calendar and find a date. It says, I can't read it, about to take February 8th. I can't read it. So if you're about to take your real estate exam, we're having the class tomorrow, okay? And you can sign up all the way up to about, I hate to put the pressure on Arlene, but you can sign up for our class all the way up to about 7 a.m. The problem is she has to get you, I've got to make the link. Are you taking your mortgage class, are you taking your mortgage exam soon? Because the mortgage exam classes are they're on demand. So our classes that are instant access or on demand, you can watch them, especially the mortgage one, I think is pretty long. I don't know how long it is. You have to look at the website. The website's passwithsharon.com, and there's a mortgage thing on there. But the other thing that you can do is and we haven't put them up for sale yet because I only have, I want to say, I have 3 cases of them. And that's not very many because I don't know how many are in a case. And whatever's next. I got my license. Now what? And steps to success. Okay, we're going to put those together. And anyway, so I have a couple of cases of the absolute best mortgage exam prep book. And that mortgage exam prep book, in the back of it has, I want to say 5 tests. I'll have to look, that have 150 questions each, and they're all very close to the exam questions, and they're really great to practice those questions because the mortgage exam is way harder than the real estate exam. And, to me, you know, I gotta say, the school I used to work at, one of the managers there, she doesn't really do real estate, but she got her real estate license so that she could represent herself when she bought her house. And which I think is interesting because when you buy your first house, I gotta say, you need somebody that's going to protect you. And if you don't know how to protect yourself, hopefully you join an office that has a broker that's willing to walk you through every step of the way. And that's what we do. So if you have any questions about that, but I'm going to mention also this, my hair's all frizzy tonight. Um, I'm going to mention to you guys, think about commercial, because I always said that commercial is way harder and commercial takes longer. But what I've learned, don't you love that? I'm going to do feel, felt, found. So this is one of the things that you should know how to do: feel, felt, found. So I used to think that commercial real estate was hard, and that's because people told me they were talking about buying and selling real estate that was commercial, and then I learned about leases, and leases with real estate. It's not hard at all, and it's actually kind of fun. So Arlene and I have had so much fun with our commercial client. It's ridiculous. Like, we were looking for property with them, but they described, so you guys, whether you're doing commercial or you're doing residential, you have to listen. That's what your ears are for. You have to listen to what your clients want, because if you listen to what they want and only show them what they said they wanted, then you're going to find what they want a lot faster and easier than throwing other options at them. So for instance, I don't know if Courtney followed me over here, but Courtney's clients originally said they wanted to be in Carson. And in Carson, the problem there, right now in the city of Carson in Los Angeles, California, you got flippers going in there and buying property for like $850. Well, if a homeowner buys that property for $850, it's like you just fell into the time warp of 1960. And so what happens at $850, it looks like you're in the 60s. Got that? At $850, it looks like you're in the 60s. But then what happens is a home flipper comes in, and what they do is they buy it for $850. They put about $100,000 into it. That's only $950, and then they sell it for $1,030,000 or $1,050,000. Hey, I was going to say, I'm looking at this and I only see one thumbs up, and there's 4 of you. Come on now. Chop, chop, thumbs up. So I'm going to give you some really good stuff. Now there's 5 of you, so there should be more thumbs up. So anyway, in Carson, the problem is my clients and most people that are first-time home buyers can barely make it to 800,000, and here these house flippers are pushing the price up to 850 because they're bidding against each other, and then the first-time home buyers don't get the house because they can't afford to buy it from the house flipper who's selling it for over $1 million. So Carson is kind of a tricky thing. Although we did find a house, thank you for the thumbs up. We did find a home that's backed up to a riverbed, and there's some things wrong with it that add cost to a house flipper. So none of the flippers are looking at it. So I told my clients, I'm like, that is such a really good property. You really need to consider it. It's really weird because downstairs is like you're in a time warp. So you walk in and you're downstairs and you feel like you walked into the 60s. And then you go up the staircase, and halfway up the staircase, it's painted like today's colors, like a really pretty blue. And then the bathroom's completely redone and the bedrooms are painted. So it's like upstairs is 2025 and downstairs is 1961. It's the weirdest thing. However, the thing is you have to be able to open your eyes. Just because you don't like the floor plan, there's things that you can do. And if I really had to pull someone in, I think I might pull my son in, because he could walk in a house and he can tell you which walls can come down and which walls should stay up. And you know, one time we went to a house. This is a house that we actually filmed on HGTV. Well, it was a trial run for HGTV, and we bought the house for $525. No, let me go back. We bought it for $325. We put $65,000 into it, and we sold it for $525. But when we walked into the house, it was a 3-bedroom with a library and 1 bathroom. That's not very good, is it? 3 bedrooms, a library, and 1 bathroom. But behind the library was a little laundry area, and then it was the outside door to where the swimming pool was. Which, by the way, the swimming pool, it's really funny in the video. I'm standing at the bottom of the swimming pool. I'm like, what are we going to do with this? So anyway, what my son did is he went in there, he came back out, he goes, okay, I know what we're going to do at this house. And I go, what? He goes, it's going to be a 3-bedroom with a master suite. Oh yeah, it was originally 2 bedrooms and a library. He goes, it's going to be a 3-bedroom with a master suite with its own private bathroom. So it'll be a 3-bedroom, 2 full bath. And I go, and how are we going to do that? And he goes, the library, on the other side of the library, there's a laundry room. We're going to do a stackable laundry room in the very back of the house in the mud area, which is like a little mud room. And we're going to make that a stackable laundry. And we're going to make the laundry room a walk-in full bath for the master suite, which is the library now. And so we completely refigured that house, and it came out so awesome. Although it was kind of creepy when we first decided to buy it. It had like paint all on the walls in the rooms. It was horrible. But anyway, the reason I'm on tonight is on Friday. I wish I could do every Friday night, but I'm going to say, if I can, anytime I come on, I'm going to post it and say I'm coming on, and I'm going to put, let's talk real estate, because I want you guys to ask me questions. Because usually when I come on, I have Arlene, who's my business partner, and she will answer questions in the chat. And that's how we work when we're teaching the class. I'm talking live. You're allowed to ask me questions. You just unmute yourself and talk. And if you're too kind of unsure about talking out loud on Zoom, then all you have to do is type it in the chat and Arlene will answer it. So we're here for you 100% of the way. So our class starts tomorrow at 8 o'clock, 8:30. You can sign up all the way to about 7 o'clock p.m. At 8:30 a.m., we're going to start the class, and then we're going to go until 5, and we're going to do it again on Sunday. It's 16 hours of material, and we're going to help you pass the broker's test or the salesperson test in California. Now, if you're in another state, I guarantee you, you'll learn enough to probably pass your state too. And if you don't, you could probably go ahead and ask us questions, and we'll be able to help you answer those questions. So I think since we've been on for so long tonight, I'm going to say goodbye for now, but just watch for it when I come on. And thank you so much for staying on and listening to me. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to put them in the comments, and we'll answer all your real estate questions, wants, and needs, whether you're going to be a real estate agent or a loan officer, or you want to buy a property, or you want to sell a property. How do you find the best locations to do for buying properties? Okay, I hope that's in my chat, because then I can chat back. And it's really interesting because there's one city right now called Martinez. And in Martinez, when I was looking in there, it looked like there was some really good deals to flip. And you kind of sometimes just stumble upon them, but there's ways that I search that are kind of super secretive, and I only share those with people I'm coaching, depending on if if I'm coaching somebody that wants to flip a house, then I'll teach them how I find the properties that I find. When I was working, I had an investor, and she would buy anything that I told her she would make money on, which was awesome. Because if you find an investor like that trusts you and you know how to do what you're doing, you're going to do really well. Because I worked with my investor. We worked for, I want to say it was 3 years in a row. So for 3 years, I met her. The first year we were together, I made her $886,000. Now that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but the very first house we bought for $176,000 in the city of Chino. Right now, you could not get that house for less than probably, I want to say that house is probably worth about $650,000, $675,000 now. Because that neighborhood, it drives me crazy when I flip a house and it looks so amazing, and we sell it to somebody who wants an amazing house, and they're like, I almost feel like telling them, okay, I'm only going to sell you the house if you keep it looking like this. Because sometimes I drive by houses we flipped, and I can't even tell which one it is because it doesn't look like when we sold it. It's so frustrating. So anyway, what basically happened was we bought it for $176,000. And it was funny because I was going to give it to one of my other investors. I was going to give it to this guy named Daniel, and I got this new investor named Cynthia. And when Cynthia, my friend was sitting next to me in the car, and I said, this is the perfect flip. I already called the real estate agent to have the listing. It had just fallen out of escrow. That's another thing. If it just fell out of escrow, those are the ones to watch for. But how do you know, right? So I called the real estate agent. I said, I understand you just fell out of escrow. I go, would you be willing to take 176? She goes, how fast can you get me the offer? I said, I could go to my office right now and write it up. And she said, I'll wait for you. And I wrote it up. And because I was sitting next to my business partner, who at the time referred me to Cynthia and told Cynthia that I was amazing, I gave it to Cynthia instead of Dan. Says, hey, me, Sharon. Hi, Ellie, how you doing? So anyway, you got to put a like up, because I think you just came on. Anyway, so we got it for the 176. It had a swimming pool, and that's one of the things I look for. Oh, I'm so glad you're doing well. So it had a swimming pool, and most investors do not want swimming pools. So if you want to beat out an investor, find a house with a swimming pool, because they won't even put an offer in most of the time. Although some investors are getting as smart as myself and my group, because we like the swimming pools, depending on what's wrong with it. I mean, you can fix up a swimming pool depending on how much you want to put into it. You sold a lot of houses this week. How did you sell a lot of houses in a week? That's pretty awesome. I'm working on 2 houses and 1 commercial lease. So see, I actually work in this industry. But anyway, so we got the house for 176. It had a swimming pool. It needed to be completely redone. We were lucky. The only thing that didn't have to be redone was the kitchen, and it was really big. So I think we bought it for 176. I think we put in $30,000, and we turned around and sold it for, I believe it was somewhere around 330. So I'm telling you, it's an awesome deal. And real estate is fun, but it is challenging, and sometimes it's difficult. But as long as you stick with it and you go out there and get the business, it's not a business where you can just sit around and wait for your phone to ring. Although I had an appointment with somebody, and it was for me to go it was at the franchise tax board. I had to go get some paperwork, and I called to ask him if I could come down there and make an appointment. And I was sitting in my own house, and I started talking to him. And I said something about my Section 8 home. And when I said something about my Section 8 home, guess what happened? He wanted to know how Section 8 worked. And I told him it was super awesome. And then we talked about Section 8 for quite a while. And he's going to call me and ask me to help him find an investment property. So you got to talk, and you got to see everybody. It's really important. But you have to build. I can't see what it says. Steve White. Wait a minute. I think you know somebody that I know. That's so bizarre. You got to put it in the chat that I can see later so I can comment on it. But anyway, I am just talking my head off, and I just want to make sure that you guys know I'm still here, and I can help you with any real estate need you have. Like literally, I sit and I pre-qualify my clients before I pass them on to my loan officer who works with me. And once she gets it, she runs their credit, and then we go hunting for houses, and then we find them a property so fast it's not like any other real estate process ever. So if you want to I can't talk. If you want to learn how to do the real estate process I do, and sell your client a home if you're working with a buyer, I want to say, well, I've sold houses on the first time out. It says my office will be contacting you by the start of the week. Just be looking. Okay, guess what? I don't know if your office is the one, but next week I'm going to be in Indian Wells, and the lady who has an office in Bakersfield and Ventura is going to meet me in Indian Wells, and we're going to talk about it because she wants me to help train some of her agents. So you guys, I can help you regardless of if it's one of you or more of you. So don't forget, look for our classes. My office is in Arkansas. Your office is going to they're going to contact me. I think it's because I'm in LA, right? Anyway, you guys, thank you for being here. Think of questions you can ask me, anything you want to know about real estate, and just put it in my chat area, in the comment area, and I'll answer you. Honest. All right? See you guys later. Have a wonderful weekend, and hopefully we'll see you next week from the CAR conference, right? Bye. I always shut this off.